there, I am V996. Now you might be wondering, why is this girl wearing her pajamas? I see owls and I see little puppy dogs. Did she just roll out of bed? Well, no, I didn't. But I'm wearing this for a reason. Often when we're in our pajamas, we're not just about to go to sleep, we're often comfortable. And what you need to do, in my opinion, when you're writing a first draft, is be as comfortable as you can. Now, I'm specifically mentioning a first draft of a novel. This might also work for you for short stories if you're a short story writer or if you write short stories as well. But the reason you need to be comfortable is because you're putting down the foundation of your story. And the best way to be really comfortable with the first draft is to make sure that only eyes on it are yours. Possibly if you have a few little animals, like if you have this little owl and these little dogs, I'm sure their eyes could be on it. Maybe if you have a pet, there's some cat or some dog, their eyes can be on it. But the first draft, no other human being except for you should see that. You might be wondering, okay, why is she saying this? Here's the thing. If you're going to be writing for publication or you're attempting to publish whatever you're writing, you can't just go from the first draft and then have it be ready to try to get an agent and then try to get to a publishing house. Or if you should go the self-publishing route, try and just be ready to just send it off to an editor and then just try to get it on Amazon or the other processes that are used for self-publishing. You need to make sure that you'll have beta readers who are people who can give you constructive feedback about various aspects of your story, possibly a critique partner, and then might also be an editor. So you're going to be going through various different aspects of people seeing that. And then that shouldn't be until after you try to revise that first draft as well. Because the first draft should be messy. Now what I mean is the first draft hopefully will have the bones of your story, the meat of your story, where you have the various different aspects of it, the characters, the story world, and basically the bulk of what your story is. However, certain things are going to change when you revise. Now, I don't know whether you're a pantser, which is someone who doesn't do much planning or any planning at all, and then from what I have heard, has a lot more to do in the revision process, or you're a planner where you plan out maybe what happens in your chapters, how many chapters your book will have, and the story world, and different aspects of the story and characters, or whether you're like me, whether you are a planner about the story world and characters, and then you have some ideas about how a story is going to go, but you don't necessarily need to know every single detail. What I do know is that draft, sometimes you might have an idea and you might just be writing. And if you censor yourself because you're thinking, okay, well, this is just going to be stupid. Like, for instance, let's say if you're going to write out a chapter, and if you said, okay, well, you know what, every chapter I write, I'm going to have someone close to me who's going to give me their opinion about it, or oh, I'm going to be so excited I can read my first chapter after I finish writing it at a time to someone close to me who I trust, or a few people, however it is in this scenario. You're going to be more self-conscious. And that's not a good thing. Now, while in the revision process, in the editing process, yes, you do need to be self-conscious. First draft is getting the story down. And sometimes when you have something that is ridiculous, Maybe you have a scene that makes no sense compared to the story world. Later on, you realize your brain was trying to say something, but you didn't come out in a cohesive form, but you could get a general idea of something from this scene. Or maybe you write a really stupid joke and you think, okay, well, this joke is just stupid. I don't need this to be in here. Or you're self-conscious about a character and you're thinking, okay, well, how does this reflect on me if this character is a particular way? In the first draft, that's where your magic happens. That's where you and your world unite. That's where you and your characters are really going to be spending a lot of time together. And if you're like me, they spend a lot of time before they get on the page. We're going to be spending time together constantly because you're going to be typing away or writing away, whichever your method is. And you need to be comfortable. You're going to, I know for me, first draft means that I try to get it done quickly. Now, various people, I guess, have different methods. I've heard of people writing first draft in a few months, maybe in a year. But in order to complete it, you are going to need to make sure that you are diligent. There are going to be times when you're tired and you're going to want to just watch some TV. And there'll be nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying while you're writing your first draft not to have self-care. You need to still make sure you take care of your health and that you still are able to function to go about your business and, you know, and also make sure that you're not walking around like a zombie all day. However, there are going to be times when a friend's invite is going to be a lot more alluring than trying to figure out the scene that was so perfect in your head or maybe in your notes isn't quite matching up when you're trying to write certain things down, when you're actually trying to get the scene and have it lengthened. There are going to be times when a TV show is on and you're trying to tell yourself, well, I can't watch that episode until I get so many words done. I need to get maybe 500 pages, which is around maybe not 500 pages. I'm very sorry about that. Wow. I need to get 500 words done. And you think, you know what? I really just want to watch the TV show now. And then sometimes it'll be easy to keep putting it off. There are going to be times when you just want to go and read your book, this book that you're really anxious about. And you say, well, I can read another chapter once I crank out another so many words. Once I finish this chapter I'm working on. Sometimes being self-conscious can do crazy things to hold you back. So when you already have those distractions, when it's easier, let your magic happen in peace. Be comfortable. Be comfortable that you want to possibly have two different versions of the way a scene happens. You don't have to worry about explaining to somebody, well, there are going to be two different versions of the scene unless you want to. You don't have to worry about reading it to anyone. You don't have to worry about how clumsily this beautiful scene of something that you love is in your mind isn't fitting on the page. You don't have to worry about how great the words are flowing for half of a chapter and then the other half that is coming out and it is just like a quicksand, trying to go through quicksand because of how much effort it is trying to push it out. you don't have to worry about, let me make sure that I go back and I correct this sentence so that it sounds better. The first draft, following, for instance, the NaNoWriMo guidelines, is you just make sure you put that story down. I personally truly believe this because I remember back beforehand when I was a teenager and other attempts at writing, and when I would go back and keep correcting myself, that would also prevent me from going forward. Now, I will admit, occasionally, if I write a word quickly or write a sentence quickly, and you know what, some of it doesn't make sense and I know exactly what I'm supposed to mean, I might go back one moment and then hurry up and quickly say that. For instance, if I have a sentence that says, the cat meowed at its owner and then grabbed its owner's, I'm just making something up. The cat grabbed its owner's hat and ran off after it meowing. If you write something like that, and for instance, you misspell the word cat and somehow have an E on the end because your brain is thinking like it's clear, working harder than your fingers are typing, and you have a punctuation, we have two sentences that are some kind of run-on sentence, occasionally go back and hurry up and fix that and keep on going. Very, very occasionally. The thing is just to get the story down. Because once you have the story down, make sure you save that and never do anything to that draft. And then put it somewhere, make a copy of it, and put it somewhere, and then revise from there. Because you might be revising and think, this idea is great, and I know exactly what I want to do. And then you realize, you know what? The way that I had that in that first draft was better, but I can't remember exactly how I put it. You could, that way, if you leave the first draft the way it is, you can always go back to it. Your first draft is your place where you need to be comfortable. Comfortable like you are seeing some nice little animals with some cute little eyes, and you just know that everything is happy. I'm the 996. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe, please do so you can know for sure when my videos are up again. And have a wonderful day.